What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video, and today we are all talking about Will Still. That is right, the new Southampton man, and today we are going to recreate his potential new system inside of FM, of course, testing with Southampton. If you do enjoy the tactics, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and once again, as a little heads up to any current Patreon members, make sure you're checking this week, because you get 2 exclusive posts. Let's get into the breakdown. Firstly, we've got to go with Southampton. So then, our first test is going to be with Southampton. Now, Southampton in real life didn't have a great season, but let's be honest, did we expect anything more? I personally didn't, and Will Still has got a big job to do. I will be honest with you, he has got a massive job. But if we actually look at what we done, we got to an FA Cup final. Yes, we did lose it, but even getting there is a massive, massive achievement. Knocked out in the 4th round by City, I will accept, because we managed to get top 4 football. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, okay? It wasn't the prettiest season. We do lose 10 games, and that does include a 5-1 thumping against Man City. But in our defence, we beat Man City. We beat teams like, well, everyone around us. Even Newcastle we managed to beat. So we were not a team that was getting battered 24/7, and we actually put up one stat line that saved us, and that was the goal scoring side of things. Now, this is really the saviour. I'm going to be honest, because when you go down to the defensive side, we are going to be 6th place when it comes to clean sheets, which is actually really, really impressive. Possession-wise, we're not going to be on there. Goal-scoring-wise and the shot-wise, we are going to be on there. So that is really, really the saving grace, to be honest with you. And looking at the league table, it is actually a very strong season. Like, don't get me wrong, I know I said I've lost 10 games, but to get top 4 with a team that is, let's face it, relegation favourites, I'm not going to say that's bad at all. And I mean, the data hub as well is going to back me up. 2.5 goals a game, 1.29 conceded. We are a relegation favoured team. Let's not forget that. And we're scoring double almost to what we are going to be conceding. We've got a decent pass completion, not a bad tackle win ratio. And to be getting nearly, 15 shots off a match with Southampton? That's not too bad. And we weren't always struggling against the top teams at all, because we actually go here at home against Man City. And do you know what? We get off to a great start, blistering through there across the goal, and I believe Adam Lallana is going to get the last touch. And that is a good start to any game, especially against Man City. Now, I know we're at home. You can argue maybe that is a small advantage, but Man City's team, their right back probably costs more than our entire team. So let's be fair when it is due, and that is going to be a 2-0 lead before even the first half ends. And we carry on, to be honest. I mean, Bednarek tries to play out from the back here. This is probably the only real weakness of the game. I mean, yeah, it wasn't great playing out from the back, but to be honest with you, you somewhat expect this stuff of a team like Southampton, and the fact that we managed to recover that 2-goal cushion and take 3 points against Man City, I can allow a mistake. Then over to Bayer Leverkusen and a quadruple winning season. We are going to win the German Super Cup 3-1 over Stuttgart. The Pokal, we are going to win 4-3 over FC Köln. Scrape the Europa League 1-0 over Liverpool. And the league is really, really strong, guys. I mean, when I say strong, it still is very close, but we only lose 2 games, and that shows how tight the Bundesliga is. We only lose 2 out of 34 games, and we nearly don't even win the league title. Boniface had a great season. We have still got Frimpong. I will make sure, well, starting next season, when he's actually at Liverpool officially, I will scrap him out the team. But to be fair, I think this is more of a team effort. It's a valiant effort from everybody. And looking at the stats, we can go and see 115 goals, a ton of shots. On this occasion, we are going to be tied when it comes to fewest conceded, and 3rd place when it comes to the clean sheet stat. So, I mean, overall, very, very good. We've improved in possession as well. But, of course, the team quality has gone from here and has gone in the middle right now. So, 3.38 goals a game, 0.85 conceded. So, these are the stats you can expect from a sort of top 6 team. Of course, we've not even shown a powerhouse yet. We're going to save that till last. This is what you can expect from a sort of mid-pack team. Very, very good stats, don't get me wrong. Even the Southampton stats are going to get you over the line. But what happens when you do test with a powerhouse? Things get a bit crazy. This is what happens. You win the French League, the Champions League, the Trophy de Champion. We're going to win that 3-0 over Monaco, the French Cup 2-0 over Marseille, the Champions League 2-1 over Inter Milan. That is actually quite funny. That is literally the Champions League final, which is, maybe this is a sign. Imagine if they do actually win 2-1. FM predicts. And the actual French league, I mean, yeah, it is absolutely incredible. We're talking 100% win rate. Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, Ramos, João Neves, all having the field day. What you would expect with these French giants, I mean, close to 200 league goals. Possession-wise, incredibly up there. The fewest conceded, the most clean sheets, the most shots. Everything you would expect, a 3 out of 3 point game. I mean, you can't top that. We have literally won every single match we have played. And looking at the general performance, this is where you get the high stats. 5.7 goals a game, 0.32 conceded, an 87% pass completion, shots per game at 26. And if you've got a team like PSG, whether you're playing as PSG or maybe you built up a team of a similar caliber, this is what you can expect. So with your top teams, you're talking a minimum of 5 goals a game. Your mid-pack, top 6 around 3. And anything below 2 to 3, to be honest. So there's not too much difference between the top 6 performance and a Southampton performance. But the powerhouses, well, you got world-class players. The stats are always going to be better. But it still says a lot about how much you can push this tactic. We will go and watch that Champions League final, just in case it does end up being this way, because that would be some mental prediction, as Lautaro is going to... I mean, that is just... It's a good goal. It is a good goal. And you know what? I'm not a big fan of it because it is against me, but I've got to give him credit. Whenever Lautaro is on the ball, it is not a nice feeling. But luckily for us, we've got Ramos, we've got Dembele, who is up for a Ballon d'Or, by the way. Leave a comment right now. Who do you think should win the Ballon d'Or? Let me know in the comments, because there is quite a few shouts. And I honestly am not too sure, to be honest with you. So let me know what you think, as Ramos is going to go through and wrap up this game 2-1. A Champions League comeback? We take it. Right then, over to your favourite part of the video. That is going to be the tactic breakdown. If you are enjoying, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And if you do enjoy rebuilds, you need to come over to the second channel, Daily Josh, because we are going to be doing a 10-year Southampton rebuild using this tactic, and we're going to be starting from the Championship. So make sure you come and get stuck in, because it is going to be an absolute banger. Now, to make this tactic back home, you want to use Gegenpress. For me, I am going to create your own style because I want to show you how it actually works. For you back home, the Gegenpress. For me, create your own style, and it is going to be a 4-2-3-1. Now, I know there's been a lot of 4-2-3-1s, as there has been across every FM tactic channel, but that's because a lot of managers play a 4-2-3-1. That is the way the cookie crumbles, if you want to word it like that. But the first change is to go from balanced up to positive, and you know what? This system actually, on paper, I think it's going to be quite a good way for him to play, because it's quite reserved in terms of the fact it's not crazy a 3-back system. Nice 4-back, nice balanced midfield, good on the attack, good on the defence. It's a pretty safe formation. Now, this formation we actually are going to use a central 4-2-3-1. So that's going to be a nice switch up from what we usually see on the channel. The sweeper keeper is going to be a sweeper keeper simply on support with no custom instructions. Again, there was no real need for him to actually have anything too crazy, so I've kept it nice and reserved. Going to the wing back on the right hand side, he is going to be set to support, and he is going to be told to stay wider alongside of tackle harder. When it comes to the back sort of 2 centre backs, we are going to have 1 ball player, 1 central defender. Of course, common sense, but I will say they both are on the default, by the way. Your most comfortable centre-back in terms of passing, in terms of just on the ball, you do want to have in the ball-playing role. Even if the game doesn't put him there when you go by the best 11, make him play there, because the worst thing you want to have is a ball-playing defender who can't pass, is bad on the ball, and then you've got a central defender who can be doing them things, because it is a complete waste if you play like that. The wing-back on the left is going to be identical to the one on the right, so another wing-back simply set to stay wider and also tackle harder, and that is going to complete a pretty reserved backline. You're not going to get ridiculous amount of stats out of them in terms of assists. They will chip in, don't get me wrong. In the Leverkusen season, they actually done quite a fair bit of work, but not every team's got a Grimaldo and a Frimpong, so I'm going to be honest with you and say they'll get maybe a handful of assists a season, but your attacking players are now allowed to really attack, because these aren't over the top. Going up to the midfield, we are going to use a central midfield player on the right, but he is going to be set to support, and he is going to have 2 instructions. move into the channels, and also roam from position. The idea behind this is I just want a person to be everywhere, essentially. I want him to be roaming about in between this area here, picking up the ball from the ball player, the wing back, the winger, the AM. Just be an option. Roam about, get into different areas and be a nuisance, because it will drag their players out of position to try and mark him. We can then play into that space and hopefully work our way up the pitch. And next to him, we are going to have a default deep-lying playmaker. I do want to quickly say at this part of the video, if you are interested in getting all of these wonderful perks, that does include these 3 tactics today and over about 200 more sets of tactics. You get them on mobile, you get them on console, you get all of my rebuild files, you get one-on-one tactical help. We are now doing Patreon exclusive tactics for managers that maybe aren't as well-known, some personal requests. Everyone gets them now, so make sure you are coming on over. There's 20% off right now, and there is, what, about over 5,000 of you guys. It's a massive group chat. We all love to talk tactics, so make sure you come and get involved. Going up to the front 4. Now, this is where we can actually go a little bit more attacking, because we've not gone over the top with other sort of player roles. You know, the midfield, for example, isn't too overcommitted. The wing-backs aren't too overcommitted. Even the ball player and central defender aren't going too crazy. So we can use an AM on attack, simply set to dribble more, roam, and move in to the channels. And both of the wide players can also be on attack, and both of them are going to be inverted wingers, because although the wing backs aren't going to get up all the time, it's very important that if they do decide to get up, there's not going to be a sort of collision on the right and left hand side. We don't want to overload, we want to overlap. We want the wing back to overlap if there is the chance to do so. So very important we are actually using the inverted winger, who naturally will be cutting inside with the ball. On the right hand side, we are going to have him simply set to take risks alongside of roam and also sit narrow, and we are going to have identically the same on this side, so sit narrow, roam, and also take more risks. And to finish it off, it is actually going to be simply a default advanced forward on attack. So nice and simple. Into the team instructions, we are going to go and talk about it. Let's start with in possession. In possession, we are going to go up to 1, 2 fairly wide. We are then going to pass into the space, overlap left and overlap right, like I was talking about a few minutes ago, focus through the middle while playing out from the back, the tempo all the way up to higher, the creative freedom set to be more expressive, and the final third, we are going to actually go today with low crosses. So the reason behind why this tactic actually does so well is because it has a lot going on, okay? So we're not playing a direct style, but also we're playing a directness where you're not forced only to short passing. We can go longer, we've got pass into the space on, we've got overlapping wing backs, and it's just that creative freedom really is hopefully going to pay off. And I do hope Will Still does brilliantly when he actually comes to Southampton, because it would be good to see another coach that, you know, has had the FM story behind him sort of get to a good level. Now, we are, that aside, going to hit the counter press, the counter, play to the centre backs, and also take short goal kicks. And lastly, out of possession, we're going to go with the high press, the higher defensive line, trap outside, prevent short goalkeeper distribution, and a maxed out trigger press. Now, that is going to give you the default version. The attacking version is needed because it's just a little bit more attacking, funny enough, and sometimes you need to switch to that to go and get your goal, whether that be in a cup final or a league game. When you're a goal down, you need extra goals, this will get the job done. So the goalkeeper does remain the same. The wing backs are identical, but a lot more instructions now. Wing back support, take more risks, cross more, dribble more, run wide, stay wide, and also tackle harder. The central defender remains the same, as does the ball player. The CM is now going to be a little bit buffed up, still on the same role. Dribble more, get forwards, roam, and move into the channels. The deep line playmaker does remain the same. The inverted wingers remain the same. The advanced forward remains the same. But we have actually opted for a shadow striker because he will get a little bit more forward, and actually he'll push up into an area like this, and it will somewhat look like a 4-2-4 on the attack. Speaking of attack, we are going to go up to attacking when it comes to the mentality. The attacking width is going to be set to fairly wide. Pass into the space, all of this good stuff does remain exactly the same. In fact, the only real change we have got is to double up a run at defence and also be more expressive. In transition, we're going to counter press, counter, distribute quickly, play to the centre backs, and simply take short goal kicks. And lastly, out of possession, we're going to go right in, and now we've saved enough space to do this, we can deploy the much higher defensive line, trap outside, step up more, get stuck in, prevent, and also max out the trigger press to much more often. And lastly, the defensive version, a very important version, because obviously we are usually playing a central 4-2-3-1. This just drops the team down a little bit, goes down a more sort of possession, methodical sort of approach to control the game. The goalkeeper remains the same, the ball player, the central defender remain the same. Both of the wing backs simply defaulted on support. We're going to have a DM on the default, a ball and midfield player on the default. You are going to have a lot of defaults because I've gone with low risk and just nice and calm. Don't overcomplicate things. We simply want a bog standard 4-2-3-1 that is quite defensive, where you're not going to have too many risks being taken, which is why you've only got 2 instructions on the AM on support: roam and move into the channels. The inverted winger on the right is on roam and sit narrow. On support, on the left, I've kept him on attack, and that is because I personally have better output from my left-hand sided player. If yours is on the right, keep him on attack, have one of them a little bit more pushed up, just to offer that little something extra, and the advanced forward simply does remain the same. Mentality, we're going to drop down to balance, so again, quite a big change. We're going to keep the low crosses, but this changes quite big time, so the thing we keep is playing out from the back. Creative freedom, be more disciplined, time wasting all the way up to frequently, the tempo in the middle, the passing down by 1. If you've got mine, get my set pieces and play for them, because that's a minimum 10 goals a season. But I won't have it on just for those that don't, because I really do genuinely back my set pieces to the death. They are absolutely incredible, so make sure you go and grab them. In transition, we're going to regroup, hold the shape, slow the pace down, play to the back line, and take short goal kicks. Yeah, we are going pretty negative. And lastly, out of possession, we're going to rock with a standard line, the high press, and simply leave it on the default. And that gives you a nice, basic is a good word to use, 4-2-3-1 that isn't going to, go out and score 2-3 goals a game. It might pinch a goal from a set piece or from a counter, but it is purely designed to sit back, defend, control the game when you've got the ball, waste time, be annoying. Obviously, your default one is what you should be starting 80% of your games with. The attacking one, you can go into games with as a powerhouse or switch to for goals. And the defensive one, don't start with it. Switch to it if you need to, run the clock down and get the job done. And that is going to give you 3 versions of Will Still's potential new look Southampton. And don't get me wrong, I hope he does well. Is he going to be the man to put Southampton back in a good place? I'll let you have the final say on that in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.